excellent for fire kits. And I wanted to share with you something that I just found out that you might be interested in. I know I sure was when I saw it. So again, we're talking about Altoids tins. Altoids had just released a new type of mints that they call Altoids Small. Look at how small that can is in reference to the original. I mean, thinner, lighter, and a whole lot smaller. So I just thought that would be interesting for you guys. If you guys are really focused on taking something and trying to get it down as small as you can, you might look into these Altoids Small. It's got the same metal construction, the same, in fact, this small tin feels heavier duty than these larger ones. Maybe it's just me, but it just feels, it's probably the exact same thickness, but I don't know, something, it just feels heavier duty. Maybe just because it's smaller and the same thickness. But yeah, I use this for storing char cloth. I use a lot of char cloth, but I keep these little components in there. I keep wire and push pins and a compass, and you know, because I'm always wanting to be prepared out there. And so these little Altoids tins are perfect for a little char cloth tin. So let's take a look further into this. I've got right here, I've got a little bit of 100% cotton. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to cut this stuff down. See if we can make us some little Altoids miniature char cloth. See how it'll do. I'm just cutting some strips that are going to fit in that tin. You know, when it comes to making char cloth, you don't have to get too scientific about it. The main thing you got to do is make the cloth the right size to fit in your tin. That's really about the gist of it. So I've got these cut down. I'm going to kind of lay them on top of each other. Hopefully we'll get us some char cloth made here with this new tin. Char cloth is a great material to have in a fire kit, especially if you're going to use solar, any kind of solar fire starting technique, or a flint and steel, and you want to capture that ember. This char cloth really works well. I'm a firm believer of it. Okay, so I've got a bunch of cloth here. I don't know how much I'm going to fit in this little tin, but we'll find out real quick. So I'm just going to fill this baby up. You don't have to be like crazy about it. Just putting it in there. You know, another thing that I used to use is I would go down to the gun cleaning supply section of the store, and I would buy those cotton patches. You know, those are already cut down to the right size, and they work really good for char cloth because they're already cut and you don't have to do nothing. So check that out. That thing's full. Let's fire up a little stove here. My battery's about to die on my camera, so if I cut here in a minute, you'll know why. Okay, let's take a look here. Get this fired up. Okay, before I get started, I'm going to switch batteries. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this stove fired up. Can't see the flame, but believe me, it is on. Just sit there and superheat this stuff. I've got the rest of this cloth handy because this is going to get very hot. Basically what I want to do when I'm creating char cloth, if you've never made char cloth before, you want to just superheat that material until it stops smoking. You don't have to get real crazy on your flame or anything like that, but you can see how on the back side over here there's smoke coming off. You just want to cook that cloth until it stops smoking. So I'm going to go ahead and let this camera keep going so that you can see this in real time. We're just super heating that stuff. You could do this over a fire. If you had a nice fire, you could throw this tin in the fire. This the old type cans, they're stamped, so they actually have a texture. This new type doesn't have anything stamped on it. It's just, their logo is just paint. Turn the flame down a little bit, see what's going on here. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good little char tin. It's going to be small, it'll fit in your pocket, it'll hold plenty of char cloth, and shoot, you could even put it full of char cloth and put it in this bigger tin. Have you a nice little survival kit. Another thing I noticed about this small tin is it has a very positive lock on the front, there's like a little button, and it shuts very securely. Right now what we're doing is we're just heating that material up and charring it down. I'm a firm believer in these Altoid tins. You can see while we're waiting the front of this tin how it has these little buttons, and they kind of pop into place. That's what this one has. There's a lot of cloth in there, so this might take a couple minutes. When the flames go away, that's when I'm really going to start paying attention. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for this char cloth, let me show you my new friend. This is the Mora Heavy Duty. If you haven't seen this knife, check out my review on it. Pretty cool knife. It's a lot heavier than the Companion. This is the Mora Companion. This Mora Heavy Duty, look at that thickness in the blade. It's a lot thicker blade. It's only like $1 more. It's got a heavier handle, thicker handle. Just check out that video. It's a good knife. I'm a firm believer of Mora knives. I've had quite a few of them over the years, and they've done me good. Now you can see that this flame is starting to go out. So now it's time that we start paying attention to this char cloth. So I'm going to turn the flame down a little bit. I'm going to kind of give it the opportunity to smoke a little bit. I'm turning the flame down so that I can actually visualize and I can see if there's smoke going on or not. This is important because that's how I'll know when my char cloth is about done, is when that smoke kind of goes away. Well, folks, I think we're probably about done. I don't see any smoke. Give it one last burst to see what's happening here. Alright, I'll see you in a few. I'm going to let this thing cool down. Okay folks, this thing is still a little bit warm to the touch, but it's not hot. It's had a little bit of time to cool. That tin, look at that. It's got that paint rubbing off on my hand, on my finger there. The tin, let's take a look. Oh yeah, looks like we have some good char cloth in there. I always like to test a piece when I make it. So let's pull a piece off. Set it there for a second. Look inside the tin. There's a piece stuck on the top. Looks like we have some good char cloth. Now this button on the front that you can see, I don't know if you can see that little bump there. That bump fits in a corresponding dent right here, and this thing clicks shut really nice. These are again the Altoids small, I think they call it. Excellent little char cloth tins. Let's see how our char cloth turned out. Hopefully we got some good cloth out of it. Yep. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it definitely works. We have some good char cloth. So apparently those Altoid, whoops, just blew it off. So apparently those Altoid smalls tins work good for char cloth. See if we can free up this piece that's stuck in the lid here. Boy, that takes a spark very easily. Char cloth is one of my favorite type of tinders. You can put that right in the middle of a tinder bundle and boy, it'll just holds things together very well. It kind of reminds me of a bow drill, you know, when you get that ember and how it kind of just sits there and grows. That's kind of what char cloth reminds me of. So again, I want to say thanks to Altoids for putting out these tins. You know, the original size and then the smalls. Anyway, I want to say thanks everybody for watching. I hope you found some good useful information here. Please feel free as always to like, share, thumbs up, and subscribe. Hope you have a beautiful day. Now get out there, go to your local grocery store and get you one of these Altoids smalls tins. They got that good snap. They just shut very well, and they, as you can see, I made plenty of char cloth. That's a lot of char cloth in there. That'll last me a long time. And the tin is the perfect size to hold it. I don't think these old ones snap. Well, yeah, they kind of do. They had two little, you can see where I drilled a hole with my push pin. That was supposedly to let the smoke out, but I never really needed to because it naturally smokes out the back here. So that's about it. Go out and get you one of these tins. Bye.